the other thing I promised to start with today, or to show you, was Magic Loop. No reason to be afraid of Magic Loop. Magic Loop is awesome. It is a way to do teeny tiny circular things without dealing with the double points and all that stuff. So what you're going to do, my suggestion is when you cast on all your stitches, go ahead and knit one row back rather than trying to connect them right away. It's really tough to do that first row anyway, even on a good day. And if you do it, you try to do it right away, your stitches kind of tend to get large and loopy, and just knit back a row. Do your first row and then lay it out flat. Make sure it's not twisted. Pick it up and go to join it. And when you're done, you have your tail that has to get woven in anyway. So you just weave that in with the first stitch, that first row that's going to be not connected, but the rest of it will be connected. And then what you're going to do is your stitches are all going to be on both needles. Divide them in half. It doesn't have to be exactly half unless your pattern calls for that and you're doing cables or anything unusual or whatever. Obviously, we can't knit this way. It doesn't work. So we are going to, this is the yarn, so we are going to be knitting onto this needle here. So what you're going to do is to pull this one out onto the cable. Don't pull it all the way that it connects back around. You don't want to do that. But you want to be able to reach around to get to your stitching. And then you are just going to go ahead and knit these up. I suppose I should turn it around, but I'm going to do it this way because I am left-handed. I don't know if that makes a difference to you. But you're just going to go ahead and knit these, and I will knit these doing it with this way. So this is our shop sample, so it's nice and small. So you can go ahead, you just knit right across that row. So we've knit those stitches up, and now we have half of our stitches on one needle that we have just finished up. So I just finished these on this needle. The rest of them are still sitting back here on the cable. So we are going to pull the cable so that that second group of stitches will be on a needle. Now we have front and back. Instead of on 3 needles, we're on 2 needles. So you're going to do that, but we're going to knit these stitches next. So you're going to pull, let me get this squared away. Sorry, I don't mean to be turning it around and making you tired there. So we are going to pull, so my working yarn is here in the front. I'm going to pull this needle out to where I can switch it, move it around to be able to reach those. And we're going to go ahead and knit the stitches on the back needle. And you're just going to pull this nice and tight, so you're not going to get a ladder there. You don't want to pull it too tight so that those stitches are hard to work, but we're going to go ahead and knit this short side here, which could be longer if you're making a sweater. Well, a sweater you wouldn't really want to do on Magic Loop, but you could definitely do your sleeves on a Magic Loop. So again, I am just literally knitting these here. And now I have these done on that needle there. And again, the rest of my stitches are on this cable. I'm going to pull it up and put those stitches on the needle so they're ready to be knit next. So I'm going to knit the back row next, and I'm going to pull, this is my working yarn, my front needle out so I can reach around to the back to knit those. And then we are going to knit those. You take your yarn that's in the back and you're going to pull it nice and tight so as not to get a ladder there. And you're going to go ahead and knit those. And I hope that helps, folks. A magic loop is really nothing to be scared about. It's fun. It is easy. It's a little bit of a fiddle because you're moving your stitches, especially if you're doing like a thumb and there's only 5 or 6 stitches. It's a little bit crazy, but it works. I mean, if you have an aversion to flexi flips or you have an aversion to double pointed needles, this works really well. Flexi flips, you say. What are flexi flips? Let me go grab them. So these are Addy Turbo's Flexi Flips. Unfortunately, it's on stitches, so I can't show it to you, but let's pull it out a little bit. So what it is double pointed needles joined by a plastic cable. So it flexes. So instead of having one, two straight needles, double pointed needles, you now have one that is joined flexible. So it will bend and flex. And you can work in the round. Again, you want to be careful not to get your ladder. So you want to make sure you pull that first stitch up, but they're really fun. Folks, if you want to give them a try, come on into the shop and give them a try. We have them out here for you. And my understanding is that they are now coming out with the new, they have a square needle. It's got little bumps in it. The bumps don't catch the yarn. I am trying them out on something. Unfortunately, the points are a little bit dull for me for the project I'm working on. These I love because they have one dull end and one pointed end. So you can pick if you're doing something with cables or yarn overs that you need. You can see that one is definitely more pointed than the other. So that's really nice, easy on your hands. So folks, that's all I have for today. Happy Friday. Have a wonderful weekend.